The other broadcast buli wembadde njogera nga network evaako so Hi Adams, how are you, man?
He is so gullible.
Gaetano, how are you, man? Egulo obuyayi bwandobesezza naye nsazeewo kanzije mbabuuzeeko dakiika zange ngaana muleme gamba nti ate saababuuzizza kansoke mbawe raapu gye nakubye nange netideiza nze big trail.
It's never about love, it's all about money, lies, fake love, pretense. Old fella, you gotta wake up, awake your sanity. She got no love for you. She got no love for you.
He is so gullible. They've got cold hearts. They really don't care. They're after his money.
Karap.
It's never about love, it's all about money, lies, fake love, pretense. Old fella, you gotta wake up, awake your sanity. She got no love for you. She got no love for you.
He is so gullible. They've got cold hearts. They really don't care. They're after it.
So, my guy, good evening. How are you? I'm going to broadcast for 30 to 40 minutes. Nobody will mukuziba mubula bai. Let me see if I can't put it down. Good evening. Esimu yo against Baramuke. It could have been worse. Said Mokose, how are you? Odong John, Dawood Mununule. Dawood Orolima Zenarapinzi Burapinzi. It's the theme song for my new show, Jendi Mukorako. Hopefully you'll also be watching it on TV very soon. Yeah. So, Amina Deep in Coffee. Kagwa Dennis, how are you? Amina Gaddafi, how are you? But before we play, yeah. So, today I wanted to share. Hi Joshua. I wanted to share what I learned yesterday when my phone was stolen. I remember the last time my phone was stolen, I think was that was 2019. That's the last time I lost a phone to a thief. Of course, the first time I did not get the phone back, but I got money. And then later on in the night, the thieves came for me. That's before I shifted from Chairman where I was renting. And then I shifted to Kasanga to where I built my... I don't know what is happening I don't know why. I don't think this was network. So that was a glitch with the app. I'm using... This is an S20. That's an S8. I have an S20. Now the S20, you remember the phone that used to have network issues? That's the S20. So I'm using the S8 now. I went to buy a phone today and the shop was closed, so I changed my mind. I said, let me just not look anywhere else. But anyway, I was still telling you the story. Hi, Dean Kagwa, Dean Marvin. Hi, JK. Hi, Henry Chisule. Yeah, no problem. Guys. So this is why I'm sharing actually today. The first time I lost the phone, nagobo mubi kubigira, I left the car moving, nemugoba nemukwata. Abantu nebagala n'okumuocha nze namutaasa. Mubbi wa kukyalo okwo nga bamumanyi. The dad came, ne taata we nga bamumanyi ku kyalo mubbi. So, but the dad paid. The dad gave me money to buy another phone. Later on in the night, they came for me. But apparently, oli omuvubuka baali bamukubye nnyo yafa. Later on yafa. But So the second time my phone was stolen was in 2019. Naliku iwe mainga soma. I was really stressed. Things were not really going very well. And that time, that day was terrible. It was terrible for me. So I was driving, all windows down. I was on the phone. I got a chance to someone can actually come and steal a phone. I think because I cannot come out of the blue and grab someone's stuff, I've never thought that anyone can just come and grab your stuff. So that day, narimvugaka Vitz, mumanyika RS, akabaitaka RS, the 1.3 liter. And it was really small, really handy. I could go around. I was really fast. I'm really fast. I'm really handy with the car. So omubi we are grabbing a simu natula ku boda nemba goba. But by now about to kaneba ingile chikumonge moro kategenda ini babulireyo. That's the only way they survived me. So that's the second time my phone was grabbed and taken. And so yesterday was the third time. You'll be surprised. My window wasn't actually down. It was like this. One. That seems like a small part. Twabadde jam for like 30 minutes and the car was on. And I put the window down up to here. Up to there. And I thought that's space that no one can, the hand can't go through. And we were with Mama Aban, twabadde tunyumya, and somehow someone came to that window and they said, tat. And deep in coffee with staying up buzibu. So I turned to look at this dude, and then somehow I felt the hand to grab the phone. I tried to grab the hand, but I was too late. So deep in coffee, don't be superstitious. There is nothing wrong with the Vitz. So what happened thereafter? So when the phone was taken, I drove. I knew there was nothing I could do. You removed someone's kati. Let me tell you one thing. You guys, you should stop being what do they call it? Superstitious. Why you should stop being superstitious is this. People have had worse. That's why I normally say it could be worse. Do you realize that yesterday a phone was taken? But do you also know that someone died? Do you also know that someone collapsed in the bathroom and right now they're in a coma? Do you also know that someone did not lose a phone but they lost a car? Do you know that the same day yesterday, someone was driving natomera lore, maso wonane ngesimu ya charge na they still have their phone, but the car is literally gone? Do you know that someone yesterday lost a very loved one? So yesterday, and this is something that I've been teaching myself over the years. When I didn't move Bukamuto, I never really thought like this. I was never this positive. And had it been like 4 years ago, I would not be smiling the way I'm smiling. But I think there is an amount of growth that you go through and you start seeing things like, okay, yeah, bad things happen, but it could be worse, right? Like I've said, someone had a much bigger loss yesterday, and for them, the loss can actually not be recouped. Like a phone was taken, you can buy a phone today. Someone's car went yesterday, they can't get a car today. Ochitegera nti waliwo omuntu ng'emmotoka ye baagibye akotekaba kati. I'll tell you, there is a time nali nva waka. And from here, Wakawan, and I drove that very day. I was going to the bank to get money to pay people, and I had mukoroda yangi. I had to put windows up, nga music ya nyuma, ndimu AC, nga ndimu about 40 kilometers per hour, which is not so fast. But on village roads, it's actually very fast. So, and mukona nali sina gwensubirayo. Wali yaba boda. Siba boda, wali omuvubuka nga ayigiriza munne piki. Oli piki ne muzikirako ku luddo olwange. If they had been on their side, it would have been okay. And I hit that person with the door. Like nagezaako bataasa, neje nagenda nendaba y'abaana, and I came back, I hit the motorcycle. And literally my car just got trouble with the door. Olujjuddu lwayononeka beyond repair. So that very day, I I got immediately when Namaro back went, the guy that was learning, I got that guy, put him in my car, drove him to the clinic. I left the clinic with orders, then I went, I got his motorcycle, took it to the garage, paid the mechanic, and then I knew I had taken care of everything. I drove away and went to town, bought a door for my car, and I went and did my own stuff. That day, let me see. Yeah, I lost less than what I would lose with the phone. But that was a scare. Like you could have killed someone. It has nothing to do with a stick. It has nothing to do with juju. It just has something to do with something bad happening. You get it just happens. Like you have your life is planned, and then because with you know how in the entire called annual marketing, we have what we call the product life cycle. The product starts at 0, it grows, people demand for it, they demand for it, then it reaches what we call the roof level, and then it has to go down. Now at the moment when the product is going down in popularity, that's when you as a marketer have to revive it or innovate. And this is the same thing that happened with Omo. Remember guys, Abadi Miakajang, we used to use Omo at home, and then someone brought Aerial Nawamba Katari. No, not Aerial. Nomi Nawamba Katari. Nomi was cheaper. Nomi smelled better. Ochitegeda. Nomi was more accessible. And then Omo Naka. Then product life cycle ya Omo was down there, was going down. And they revived it by creating Aerial. So now Nomi is almost nowhere to be seen. So because there is Aerial, and then after Aerial, these guys brought Magic Ochitegeda, right? No, it's not raining, it's drizzling. It's drizzling. So you guys stop being superstitious. Stop being superstitious. When something bad happens to it because of a misfortune somewhere. That phone was taken because I laxed and my window came up to here. If I hadn't laxed and put my window up to here, that phone wouldn't have been stolen. Let me tell you, 3 things happened yesterday. And me, I believe that life is a result of choices. So 3 things happened yesterday. Yesterday, I came from work. I came from school. Then I drove to go pick the Urbans. They were with their mother. Urban was kicking football yesterday. So I went to pick them. Mama Urban narwao. Neye kunya. That's the first thing that went wrong with yesterday's journey. Yesterday's journey was supposed to go smoothly if it had gone according to plan. That's why I don't like. Actually, you guys, sagara kutambula chiro. Sagari dada kutambula chiro. Because ababbi ba masimu tebagabba misana. You'll be surprised bagabba chiro. Sagara kutambula chiro. So the first thing that went wrong with yesterday's journey was that mama bani yekunyiza netutambule chiro. That's the first thing that went wrong. The second thing that went wrong with that journey, Saturday is normally a day of traffic. I knew that. Normally on Saturday, I use a different route. Yesterday, nagumizo mutwe nengamba kamvuge main. That's the second thing that went wrong. Okay? The third thing that went wrong was that still mukubo nademanyiti mubamu jam on that day. Lienaisemo nga sina diitam because on Saturday I normally don't use that road. Nendisanga mu jam nendisenda birwa mpaka wano. You see the 3 things? It's all about choices. Tewali kati. On Saturday njagala mbabulira. On Saturday mvuga nempiteka wempe nempiteyo mundeye mbikubo byachi naweyo nenzija nengwe kawanda ngambuse jamu we maganjo. I can tell nti jamu watandikire maganjo batwalide sim. That's the place that I normally avoid. So the one thing I learned, bobanye chokiriza because the mama bani achimanyi sagala tambula. You guys, I don't like moving at night because a lot of things go wrong at night. And that's one of the things that went wrong at night. But the first thing, Saturday when Peter after 9 p.m. because after 9 p.m. it's smooth. One thing you guys need to understand, ababi bama simte bagabba misana. Bagabba chiro. So one reason I don't like moving at night. 2, at night there's so much that could go wrong and there's very little ways you could get help. My phone was stolen. I had to block my mobile banking. I had to block my Airtel number. I could not get my number that night because it was night. Basically at night, ndoza murabi. Tewali kati, tewali juju, tewali dogo, tewali chi, tewali stan. Ochitegera. It's all about getting comfortable and relaxed, not booty things. Thank you, Gaetano. No, I didn't really get relaxed. Okay. I just made the wrong choices yesterday. For me, I believe that life is all about choices. You see the people that are broke, it's choices. The people that are rich, it's choices. Yes, we have a lot of luck going on, but luck is best friend to, what did that? I went to Portugal one time and this artistic director was taking me around the National Theatre in Porto and was telling me luck is best friend to preparedness. Yeah, luck is best friend to a person that is prepared. If you're not prepared, you'll never get lucky. You get. So, but apart from luck being there, luck can be there when you're prepared. Let me tell you, nze gentero kuita ku Saturday, ekkubo litambula straight. And the past few days, we remember singanga jam ngampita kasangati. This one day when I decide to not go the way that I normally go, that's when so it's a matter of choices. That's one thing I learned yesterday. Like, choices are very important. You need to choose. Me, I'm a man, and normally I find that normally fengaba sajja twagala nnyo ekintu ekiri predictable. Tibwempita wano nzira wano nenzira wano, because when you have a predictable thing, then you can change it in your favor. Like, for example, if I know I move, because yesterday I had a studio session. Saturday I normally don't go from home, but I had a studio session and I had class at for marketing yesterday. Those are two things. Then we got our urban guy no korachi okusamba omupiira. I didn't know about that batching Friday chido. So urban okwegatawo, that was something that is out of our routine. But of course that was a random match that could have happened. But the one thing that happened was that Mama Urban yekunyiza. And kati chokwe kunye cyabakazi cyakiyomba nako normally I relax era babade ku broadcasting room mwabinga ndwe magamba ganda batajja bwe magamba nenga yekunya okitegeera. I think oba abana bamaze okusamba ompira obanga balina genda wa, something happened. I know that loss very well. I once got paid on 23rd December back then. I bought a phone 600k, but I was meant to buy myself a bed, but instead bought a Galaxy S3. Next day it was stolen on 24th December. Choice. If you had bought a bed, you would keep the bed. So it's all about choice. You make one wrong turn. Eric, I just called the bank. You need to have if you're using mobile banking, you need to have the number of your bank on speed dial. So that's I just called the bank. Because what happened is when my phone, I always have a backup phone. Like Moroka backup phone majority of the times. So I had a backup phone. I didn't have a SIM card definitely, but Mama Ban had had a phone. So I tethered with this phone. I logged into my Gmail and got my contacts back. So the Equity number is part of my contacts. So I called Equity. I told them my phone has been stolen. Block my mobile banking. They blocked it. So I could not get to Airtel, which is one of the most annoying things. You cannot call Airtel to tell them, please block my number. You can't. I had to call my sister-in-law who works in Airtel to get someone to block the number. So those are two things that I did. They were blocked. After those two were blocked, then I went to Samsung, okay? And of course, I logged out of Gmail from the other device, Nenji Jamu. And then I knew now that was safe. Then I opened my laptop, tried to get to Yahoo. I could not get to Yahoo. Yahoo is very strict. But what about Dukanga ku Yahoo mail the other time? Yahoo mail is very easy to hack. Mama, Gmail might be easier to hack than Yahoo. So anyway, I failed to get to my Yahoo, but the other things I recovered all. TikTok, naina ade so agenda to TikTok because I did not have access to my Yahoo mail. So, but I knew that they could not, because my phone has a lot of layers of security. But just to be safe, you log out of all, you make sure you log the other device out of everything you need to log it out of. And that's what happened. And after the phone was stolen, I parked somewhere for like an hour trying to do all those things. And then we drove away and then came home. Yeah, how about Yahoo can lock you out? You need to have a phone number. You need to have another Gmail, another email account. Can be Yahoo, can be Gmail, can be a company account where you can actually. But then what they do, Habat, is you can call. They charge for the call though. So you have to give them a Visa card. You call them, then they bring you back to your account. But I did not have to do that because, yeah. But anyway, normally what happens when your phone is stolen, you panic. One of the reasons we panic is because you don't have a way of recovering your stuff immediately. But I did have a way. So we parked aside, I relaxed, and the first thing I did was log out of Gmail. Then the second thing I did, call Equity to block my accounts. So they blocked everything. I have unblocked it today. And then the next thing was to block Airtel number, which I did. I haven't checked my Airtel money balance, but I know it's okay. So, and then afterwards, I started logging out of everything that I could log out. Majority of the apps that we use, if you log into it on another phone, it logs out of another phone. So iPhone, I want to learn about iPhone. Odong John, teach me about iPhone, because I might actually get an iPhone this time. I'm considering getting an iPhone. So tell me about it. I'm actually considering. Why? I have lots of Samsungs. This is an S8. I have an S20. Mama Ban has an S20, S9. I think S9 Plus. Because I went to get her an S21 and I thought, S21. She's not even going to use half the capacity. S9 is good for her. S9 Plus. So tell me about iOS. Guys, who is using iOS? I may get an iPhone this time. Guys, recommend for me iPhone. Recommend iPhone. Tell me about iPhone. Because I've not yet bought a phone and I may end up buying an iPhone. But the one thing with iPhone, most secure phone on the planet after BlackBerry. But does BlackBerry even exist? So anyway, guys, my lessons, because in Jagara Basi, I have not yet washed the car. I've not gone to the gym, so I have to go. I'm working out from home. You know, and I have to, because in the gym, I normally work out for 1 hour. So I'm going to work out from home for 1 hour, but first I have to wash this car. Bado nje kubi orupira neka tingenda jikuta kuta. Bana mwe guys abaine moroka nga mwazi mba, for example. Na mwabeda mu apartment nga you have space. Buy that jet car wash. It will save you a lot of trouble. Like me, I drive a very dirty road every day. So every day when I get home, moroka nkuba mkube rupira. Nchana eberange nyina nkuba mkube rupira. Nenjana. Gmail has made me think that Yahoo no longer exists. Yahoo is actually, I find that Yahoo is more secure than Gmail actually. iPhones are actually much safer because you can track your phone even when it's off. Even Samsung you can. It's just that I think people twitch about Android tetuchigendera bugenderezi. Chemukama nti iPhone tebasobola gi flashinga. Can they flash the iPhone? And how is the battery life for the iPhone? Why am I even thinking of the iPhone? I thought you should grab the iPhone Pro Max, best one for the price of 1.5. You'll thank me later. 1.5. Wow. Akakasete ngaka iti divukati. Mama, meka 1 point what? Samsung also had that feature. Has. But Samsung bazi flashinga. Esimu yange nchimanyi baji flashinza da. Kati, if you can flash an iPhone, then why buy an iPhone? How about saying the iPhone can't be flashed? So if your iPhone gets stolen, what's the next course of action? Then the other issue with iPhone is that I have a Windows computer. I use Windows. You can't flash iPhone without iCloud password. So what happens if someone steals your phone, your iPhone? What happens if someone steals your iPhone? Do you still have to invest money to go and track the phone? Hi Reynolds, how are you? Because if personally, I've not had, like the last phone that was stolen was in 2019. Those are so many years, like 5 years since my last phone. It's nearly impossible. You see, but iPhones have the worst battery life. Better go for Samsung S21 Ultra. You cannot flash an iPhone without iCloud. Oh, mulaba katimutanso kwekuba. You log into iCloud and turn on stolen mode. And then track the phone using the Find My iPhone. And then you end up in Sobeys estate. So I have time to figure out my options because I have phones I can be using for now. This one has terrible network. This is this S20, has terrible network. This is the S8, but it has good network. So I'm going to read more about iPhones, but then someone is saying iPhone has a terrible battery. And then iPhone, but the new iPhones use Type-C. But of course, I will not be able to afford. I don't know what Lewis is talking about regarding battery life. Tell me, JK. Tell me. So you guys, then what would be, what iPhone? iPhones are beaten with battery life. iPhone battery to now. Yes, sir. Obatu akuba iPhone tugula ankadde. Emwe bagayi gwe mwezo iPhone zimusindika mu muzimanyi. Ezo iPhone is a bay. I have never held any other phone beside iPhone, and battery life has never been an issue. But how JK, how often do you use your iPhone? Because that's another thing. If you don't overuse your phone, then it definitely not be. Trust me, Arthur, you'll need to move with power banks everywhere. Jacob, but even with my Samsung, I literally move with but you know the S21 didn't have a very bad battery. My whole 12 Pro Max, I always buy my phones brand new. Katateba na Uganda bagula simu kadde. So if you're buying used, definitely Samsung is definitely better than Samsung is better than iPhone. Bobo gula chikadde. Bobo gula chipia. Bobo gula chipia then. What phone? Okay, you guys tell me. Sija gula 15 mundeke. Sija namukadde no nekubye. Sicha yagala mujireke. Ngenda nonya sente zange. Ino njajje sasulira mpola. Mwe. Which iPhone would equate to the Samsung S21? Because me, I had no problem with my Samsung S21. Find my iPhone is the game changer. Okay. Because like with the Samsung, you have no way of finding the phone. Game Azima. There is no way of finding the phone, which is very terrible. If I had an iPhone, for example, and this thing works as you say, right now I'd be tracking my phone and I'd find it today. Which take it iPhone 11. See a bay, yeah, just somewhere yo. Getting a bay. If I had an iPhone right now, I'd be tracking my phone, right? But anyway, today lessons. You guys, I used to be stressed about when things go wrong. Like, you know, Nkola shows up performing arts. So I would be stressed, but somehow, Nyenze Njiga, especially Mama Ban has taught me to try and be patient with life. It's 900. Hey, we have iPhone 11 here, 900. What's the iPhone 11? There's a Samsung 11. Nice Samsung is man. With security, you surely need to go for iPhone. My iPhone 12 Pro, I bought it secondhand in data. Battery very good. Okay. JK, secondhand iPhones are always newer than secondhand Android phones, but you find that the Android older batteries are always far better. Okay. After I have a 13 Pro Max, I charge once a day and 24/7. I'm on Wi-Fi. I charge between 20% and 80%, nothing more. Okay. Mugenda okunchusa nkwateko mu iPhone. Ngenda kwata mu nkwate. Njigeze manya I'm trying. You know, for the love of cars is teaching me one thing. Try stuff. You never know what goes right. But yesterday I learned ngule Samsung Antonio. I recommend you buy new iPhone with you being fast user. Okay. There is one thing that I've learned. Antonio nawe mpensonga totongo babugobi kugundi. There's one thing I learned yesterday, that we grow up. I used to panic when something like that happens. But yesterday I was very calm. I knew it would be okay. I knew that it could be worse. Until yesterday the phone was stolen. But you imagine, you guys have watched movies like Final Destination. I want you to imagine someone got an accident at that very moment. When my phone was being grabbed, they were crashing into another car. My phone was being stolen, someone was falling in the bathroom. My phone was being stolen, someone was getting a heart attack. My phone was being stolen, someone was finding their wife cheating on them. My phone was being stolen, someone's money was being stolen on the account. My phone was being stolen. There's a million things that were going wrong at the same time. And those many things that were worse than what was happening to me were not happening to me. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So I was, but I don't feel pain at all. I don't feel anger. I don't feel loss. I know I've lost money, but one thing I've learned, more about from the lockdown. During the lockdown, lockdown is a teyambisa bulungi. And during and after the lockdown, the things that happened after the lockdown, you know, but when before day, night comes, before light, darkness comes. For you to see light, you have to come out of the darkness. So like the lockdown was that period when I was in darkness. I had started a business that I ran from 2018, and the lockdown went with it, and it was growing. And Antonio uya atugambye abina byonna ebimalanga. So after the lockdown, when during the lockdown, everything was south. Like I had my last boy in 2020. It was a lockdown. It was a period of a lot of expenses and no income, and that's the time I started the channel. And during the lockdown, I did a lot of running, and I did a lot of listening to motivational stuff. And during that the lockdown, I learned to be positive, because the lockdown took to be positive for you to not be pre-purchase, pre-phone inspection. Antikato, you know, you have to get me a good deal, or John, you have to get me a good deal. Me, I actually pay pre-purchase inspection for everything. I pay for land, I pay for cars, I pay for laptops. Like the laptop I have is a bomb. Like the guy that is editing my current show, editing. He has a very powerful machine. Now you know what to sing agenda mu color grading. Nagamba ata. Ngenda kujja nkozesa machine yo so color grading. I bought a powerful machine. Era nagenda na ine musaswa senza pre-purchase inspection. Ochitegeera. So, anyway, I was telling you how I learned how to be positive. Nti things might go wrong, but they can't go wrong forever. You just have to sit back and see, okay, what did I do wrong? Because when you understand what you did wrong, you cannot blame anyone. You cannot be in the dark. You cannot be there thinking, okay, me, I don't believe that there is any time that Satan is influencing anything that is happening to me. No. Whenever something bad happens, I switch and I start looking at whatever happened in my life from a viewer's. I look at stuff from the perspective of a viewer, and I start seeing, okay, where did I, like I started picturing whatever happened yesterday. Like I drove from and you know, everything, we were very happy, we were chatting jolly and all that. And remember Nademva Baraga bayimbira rap yange. And then the late coming. Normally, whenever someone goes late, don't change. Like Mama Ban we said it. Now then you know kuita je tuita bulijjo. Which take it one of the two routes that I use on Saturday. I did not. That's the second thing. The first thing that went wrong, Mama Ban kwe kunya. The second thing that went wrong, using the route that I don't use on Saturday. The third thing wrong, the thing that went wrong was me getting relaxed. Which take it, and then that's how it happened. But all in all, whenever something goes wrong, just trace back and see where you took the wrong turn, because everything goes with the wrong turn. And once you, I started seeing things happen differently in my life. Like you make the right choice, things go right. You make the wrong choice, things go wrong. Like all along, I've been really careful. All along, I've been trying to avoid jam, trying to avoid moving at night and all that. Broadcast because at night so much could happen, you get, and that's exactly what happened. But anyway, is that as you grow and you start working and you realize how when you focus things go right. Muraba ene simu ne focus yayo si nnungi etuuka neevaako. And as you grow you realize that omuntu bw'afocusinga ku kintu n'akiwa amaanyi ge afunamu by'alina okufunamu. But there are things that you can never focus on and get good stuff. Like abo abaana ababbye essimu yange nze ate omutima gwannumidde bo. Okitegeera omutima gwannumidde abo abaana because kati those kids that steal phones they are used to a quick buck. They are used to getting quick money. Go grab a phone, sell it 50k, which I'm sure they already did because they don't want to be caught with a phone. So the moment they steal it, they go and sell it there and then. You get it? And they give them like 50k. Now you imagine esimu ye million ye number. Omwana n'agitunda there and then. N'agitunda emitwalo emeka? 5. N'abanga atafunyeemu bwe bibanga ebikolimo gye ebiri. N'abanga afunye ebikolimo. N'abanga atambuliddeko ebisiraani. Okitegeera kwegamba n'asigala ng'obulamu like I was telling you the story of my best friend yoli yafa. Yali ali mu bulamu kumpi bwe butyo. Naye yali ebintu ebitali bibe nga abitwala. I remember there is another friend of ours yaje wangu okusula because we were staying asula mu nyumba yange nange. And chali wafo najja n'akyala. Nze ne ngenda ebweru ne ngenda bweru ne mu Canada. Guy n'asulawo ku weekend basulawo babiri. Kati mwe nkoma okuva Canada. Waliwo akawala nali nkakwana nga kanjazika kamera yaako. Kava mu family yabo bote. Akawala bwe nkazi kanjazika kamera. Kati no, she gave me to copy things from the memory card because na ina video library. And I left the camera. Ngendo komonga camera teri ngoli guy yagenzi bali bamuyita Abdu. Abdu bwagenda ngendo buuza ono guy tone. Ngamba Abdu aleka yabye kamera eyo. He was so and then Abdu nemuga kamera wagitwala wabikibichi mutufu. Later on I realized ono guy yetwala kamera eyo n'agitunda n'awaayizoli because yali mwengalo. But you guys, if you remember the story of that friend of mine, he ended up dying a miserable death. Like whenever you do such bad things, life catches up with you. So for me, I would have been there saying simu yange, but I didn't actually feel for the phone. I felt for these boys. Like they don't have a future. You can change and have a future. Look at the documentaries we look at on TV, guys that come out of prison. It's a very rare thing. It's under cases like 50 Cent, where someone comes out of prison and they catch up and they get a good life again. It's very rare. Majority of the time, someone that goes into prison, they come out of prison, they never get back their life. Majority of the time when someone starts stealing, they live a life of stealing. And thieves, they don't accumulate anything. Because ababi benyini tebeyagaliza. Toyina choyinza kwezimba. Okitegeera. And then these guys, the foot soldiers, banabajja ne grabbing amasimu gaffe. Ate tebafuna muyadde. When you look at someone like Sobbi, for the guys, mumanyi Sobbi mwenna. This guy yagamba akulira ababi be Kampala. Like when you look at Sobbi, he has nothing. Literally has nothing. Okitegeera. That's why you'll find him say one time he's crying, banange muzeyi tuyambe, muzeyi nakuyamba kababi, muzeyi ngatompadde. Someone that has something will not go on TV crying. Like you will never find. Nza atoba. Okumanyanga nekolera nze ne bampe moroke y'obwerere bwe baba antwala ku TV kuntimba bagireke. Sagala bintu bya kuntimba. Nti gundi yafunye ekintu bwe mba mumpe TV nga ya bwerere mujimpe. Musirike mugambe warogayi yawangudde TV wano bamita Arthur. Mwerinya dio mulitime naye mugenda kuntwala ku TV muntimbe ensanyuke nnyo. You get it? Rain was saying Jeremiah 29:11, only a man who has learned to deal with the loss can conquer life easily. Thank you, Reynolds. I'm still learning, by the way. But yesterday I experienced something that I've taken a long time without. No, by the way, last time, nina shoje nakola. Nakola show ne ensala. Show ya ansala, but I was relaxed. Ngangenda ku stage okuzanya. The time you remember I told you I was going to play Okonko. Shows are asalanze. But every time I would step on stage, it's like I would forget, like, see nkoze rosi actually nali nkola rosi nakolanga rosi burosi, but I would sit and when my part comes and I think, okay, tomorrow what do I do to recoup my money? What do I do to get back my money? And the same thing happened. I had challenges with the cafe that I would share probably 2 years from now. I can't share now because I'm still under contract, so I cannot share the challenges I had with the cafe. But there are challenges I had with the cafe. And one of the things that helped me go through those challenges was choice. There is a choice I made along the way before we shut the cafe that I swear is something I always talk about. But I made that choice. It was really expensive for me, but it's one of the best decisions a producer would ever make. Now that's something I'll share probably 2 years from now. So anyway, I learned that I'm grown. I'm growing up actually. See, I'm totally grown, but I'm growing up. I'm learning to deal with loss in a mature way, that like Reynolds had said. I'm learning to deal with loss. I'm also being strong. I think as we grow, ngatugenda in our 40s, because I'm going to be making 34 next year. Ngatugenda into, as we head into our 40s and late 30s, there is something you learn, that there are things that should not stress you, because even if you get stressed, life, it won't change. You get, like, the phone was taken, like, okay, now what can I change? And then it comes to me, okay, this is what you can change. Log out of Gmail in that phone, get your bank apps closed, get your Airtel money closed, then blah, 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 access whatever you get. Then you start thinking on your feet, like, okay, this has gone wrong. What can I do next? And then you see what you can do next. So that's something I don't know if this conversation is going to help someone deal with loss. And I made a very big loss. I was working with a friend of mine. I think I've told this story. Mmanyi we musaga saga no mugaga ogende yewe no ogenda kunsanga nga ndi mugaga muvundu kwa yenze no genda gebwe bagenda kuba bampara wensi ya million 3 buli lunaku ne mugamba gwe ondese gwe pesi kwentambulira tondaba ogenda kunsanga ndi eri. So the guy was doing marketing with me. He was making the phone calls. The season before he left, he did not make the calls. Yagano kuba masimu. So that time, yansala. Okumanya, it was terrible. Chancellor, I did not make any money. I could not pay my actors. The next season, tuba tubuza weekend ba actor nebe changa bonna. But I think the other thing strengthened me, because the actor wano webe changa. You know how ngo inakasi abantu 20 ba actor abakyasinza okuzanya obulungi 10 nebe changa no sigaze ebiyebe. Ngo ba actor bo sigaza bonna temuli amanyi kuzanya bulungi. Abalungi bonna nga bagambe, Arthur, we don't talk to you, we don't do anything with you until you give us money. And I did not have the money. But they had said to them na meeting in our. So what I did, I talked to my production manager, can we get other actors? That's what we did. So role is asking obunene z'abasajja nenze wanaine enzimuwa. Then we got some girls that were really good. Netubawa role zile ndale z'abakazi nene. Then we got some new actors abali ababisa okusinga ababisi benayina. So we rehearsed for a week, and surprisingly that time the show was successful. Kati it was successful, bana abasigala bonna abali babanja nemwamba ngenda basasula. Naye ate you'll be surprised tuba tukola rehearsal. 2 of the people abechanga luli ne bakomawo ne mbagamba mukomyo ne sigenda basasula ze mubanja. Ne bakkiriza and what they worked, they joined us and we worked. Surprisingly, on the day I'm paying the other guys, these people abechanga ne bawereza representative ngaza ngambe kakati Arthur tukoze tutya. Ne mugamba mwagamba temuddamu kwogera nange temuddamu kunkolera paka ngamba wadde sente. So what do you want? Nange sagala kwogera nammwe sikyabagala mugende. And you'll be surprised, at that time my company was really young. I was paying very little. And the guys that left that time, abambaddamu kubulira njiri abalabaddayo mu kyalo performing arts, because there is no one that will pay them like me, because no one sees the value that I saw in them, because nabatandika nabo nga babisi nembalaba nga badevelopinga. So but I think those 2 things also strengthened me. But also having a partner that is supportive is another thing. Whenever I'm having these tough moments, majority of the time nadala is a business, because in the sim it's okay, but there is a business mama bani abera onagamba, you know what, it's okay. You are an entrepreneur. I decided to invest money places. Sometimes it goes, sometimes it comes. And in a way, it has strengthened me. And then when you have kids, because now your kids can't see you breaking down. Yes, you break down. And I think that's why normally when a man is going through tough times, instead of breaking down, they start shouting, they start being bitter, they start instead of showing that they are weak at that moment, they start being strong and because a man doesn't want to show that, you know what, I'm weakened. Something has broken me. And yeah. I believe the quicker one accepts the loss, the quicker they move on to better themselves even further. I already have a plan to cover the loss. So, Kandawe want to say that the moment a loss of something doesn't change your feelings, then just know you've made it somewhere in the successful life. I don't think I've made it, but I know. The one thing I know is that things always get better. And then you learn out of that. Katinze, you're not going to catch me with my windows down. No. Ngenda vuga SC. And very soon I'm going to do a video. I'm doing mathematics. Math. I'm trying to compute how traffic jam is more expensive Sorry, someone was calling my phone. You know how people say SC is expensive, it consumes fuel? I happen to think that traffic jam is much more expensive than SC. So these days, I would rather drive a longer route, right? I would rather drive a longer route that has dust and potholes than stay in traffic jam. I can tell you that after ngagenda nnyo nga nvuze jam okusinga nga nkoze eki okusinga nga gagenda nnyo nga nvuze jam okusinga nga okay, the device is overheating. I don't know why it's overheating. Kamba sibule bannange. Now, thank you for being part of the broadcast because it's going to turn off the YouTube. But I hope this conversation has also, because it has, in a way, it's giving me insights. You see the comments that we see, that you guys share. I'm sure it also changes. Let me read the names in the simultaneous navaku gamba overheating. Techatambula na kutambula kati abweti S21 yange webadde kuba yo iPhone tebuguma ano Said Mukose, Adams and Odong John, Dawood Mununule, Deep in Coffee, Nwamanya Gaddafi, Mugalasi Joshua, Dean Marvin, JK, Henry Chisule, Bukenya Abi, OSP, Deep in Coffee,